Oh, snuck that one in the top. The Target Pro Tour dartboard review begins right now. What's up, guys? Worldwide here. So today we're going to be doing a review on the Target Pro Tour dartboard. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, why on earth did I buy another dartboard? Well, let me explain. Now, recently I discovered Dart Shopper, and they're based in the Netherlands. Now, I'm based here in the United States where dartboards are ridiculously overpriced, and the selection is very limited. Pretty much you're going to buy a Blade 5, a Unicorn, or maybe a 180 Gladiator 3, if you can happen to find it, which they seem to be always out of stock. So the dartboard selection, super expensive and incredibly limited. Now, heading back to Dart Shopper based in the Netherlands, I found out that their shipping for large, heavy items is incredibly affordable. You know, it's one of those deals where it's almost too good to be true. I shipped that Target Pro Tour dartboard using their express shipping here to the United States. It cost me $17 and it showed up on my front doorstep 2 days flat. That was just, it was absolutely remarkable. I was blown away by how quick it showed up. And on top of that, the dartboard itself was fairly inexpensive, less than 40 US dollars. So long story short, I had never seen a Target Pro Tour dartboard in my life. I've never laid eyes on one. And it's just something I wanted to try, and I wanted to have an extra backup dartboard in case I was testing out some darts with some aggressive points. I didn't want to be throwing on my brand new 180 Gladiator 3. So it's always nice to have a backup dartboard. So I figured I might as well get it, and we'll do a quick review on it today. So what I'll do is I'll take it off of the wall. We'll take a close-up look at it. I'll go over some of the features with it, and then most importantly, I'm going to measure some of the segments. That's really about the only thing I'm interested in. And after that, I'll put it back on the wall. I'll throw a few darts at it and give you my feedback on what I think of the Target Pro Tour dartboard. Oh, and by the way, it's slightly used. When I reviewed the 12-gram Stephen Bunting darts, I hung up that dartboard because the Bunting darts, I put on those aggressive points. And at the time, my 180 Gladiator 3 was brand new. So I didn't want to throw the aggressive points at that board. So this board, slightly used, but nonetheless, we'll do a quick review on it. So here we go, guys. Should be a good one. Okay, there we go. The Target Pro Tour dartboard. And keep in mind, guys, remind you once again, this is not a brand new out-of-the-box dartboard. I have used it, probably thrown darts at this thing for maybe an hour in total. So yeah, it has seen a little bit of use, not brand new out of the box. But I tell you what, going down some of the pros, the ink job on this, the blacks, very deep, deep black. The greens, vibrant. The deep, rich red color. The ink job is second to none. Love the looks of it. The Target logo, the Pro Tour here. Not overwhelming to the eyes. It's not busy when you look at it when it's hanging on the wall. I think some dartboards can get carried away with their logos. But the Target Pro Tour, when it's hanging on the wall, very easy on the eyes to look at. And again, the ink job is just phenomenal. Some of the downfalls or the negatives, I'm not a fan of seeing the where the biscuits are squished together. There's some lines throughout the board. But again, you have to keep in mind this is a less than 40 US dollar board. So, you know, obviously it's not going to compare to the more expensive dual core Blade 5s or maybe even the 180 Gladiator 3. But overall, for $40, I think this is a great board. But what do you say? We get a little bit closer look at this thing, and we'll see if we can find any imperfections or anything like that. Okay, let's get a little bit closer look at this board. I've got the handheld camera, but I'll try to keep it as steady as possible. And you see as I come in for a little bit closer look, you can see the lines. They're definitely a little bit more prominent, just where the biscuits were squished together. And again, reminder, this is not a brand new dartboard. It's probably got about an hour and a half use on it. But look at that, the bullseye, perfectly centered, so that's always good to see. And again, those holes are from me playing on it. But yeah, looking around, I mean, it's a decent enough board. Keep in mind, guys, this is not a super high-end board. It's more of an affordable board. And the only defect that I could find, little tiny chunk of sisal missing right there. Although, I mean, that's nitpicking. When you're standing back on the line, you can barely notice that thing. And on top of that, you're going to be rotating your board. So that's going to be in different areas. Anyway, not a huge, huge deal. But again, yeah, these lines are, I mean, you can definitely notice them. I think as the board wears in or you break the board in a little bit, those are going to be less noticeable. There we go. That's looking at the rest of the segments. But what do you say we grab the digital calipers and we'll measure some of the main segments, some trebles, the doubles, and I'll measure the bullseye. We'll see how that compares to other boards. But yeah, there is the Target Pro Tour. Not too bad of a board. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I've got the digital calipers here. And keep in mind, guys, this is so hard to do on video, but I will try my best. So we're going to start with the original treble 20. Oh, wow. 9, can you guys see that? Let me check. Yeah, 9.9 millimeters there. Let's check the double 20. Wow, 9.9. That's a healthy, hey, look at that, 10 millimeters wide for the original double 20. Wow, that is monstrous. Wow, 10 millimeters wide for the double 18. I guess I can check the treble as well. 9.8 millimeters wide there. Let's see if we were on for the 9 darter. What's the double 12 looking like? What? You guys see that? 10.1 millimeters wide there. All right, we'll check out these popular doubles, the double 8. So the double 8 is 9.9 millimeters wide. Whew. What a massive board. Now this one's hard to measure. All right, 10 millimeters wide for the double 16. I guess we can check the treble 19. Let me see if you can see that. Yeah, 9.9 millimeters wide. Wow. So even though these segments are huge, right? But the board is very consistent. 9.9 millimeters for the treble 17. Treble 15, might as well check that as well. Again, 9.9. Wow. All right, very uniform, very even all the way around. I guess now we can check this bullseye, and you know, looking at it, it does look pretty good, pretty big. It's like a pie plate. Whoa. No way, is that right? Wow, 13, can you see that? 13.3 millimeters for the bullseye. That's definitely bigger than the Blade 5 or the 180 Gladiator 3. And it looks like the 25 segment is 32. I think 32 is fairly consistent with everything else. So there you go, guys. Wow, that's some of the biggest segments I've ever seen. So I expect a 9 darter, right? Got to be here. So anyway, guys, let me get this hung back up on the wall, and I'll throw a few darts at it and give you my final thoughts on the Target Pro Tour dartboard. Okay, let's have a few throws on the Target Pro Tour dartboard. And you know, I have my monitor, my desktop monitor down here. I'm looking at it on video. Looks great on video anyway. You guys will have to let me know how it looks on a YouTube video. But yeah, I'm looking down here, very deep, rich red coloring. The black looks good, you know, in person as well. So the ink job gets a 10 out of 10. The looks, and it does really well in the looks department. So yeah, I think it's a great looking board. But performance, I think, is the big thing. You know, when I was just warming up though, it's a very quiet dartboard. Although on the same token, the reason it's quiet is because it's a little softer than my 180 G3. So it's nowhere near as firm as that board. I think it's probably about the same firmness as a Unicorn. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but yeah, it's not a super firm board. Oh, what was that? Oh, hey, that third one was in. Very nice. So yeah, huge benefit there to the segment size, and I do want to say something about that. So concerning the segment size, not really a huge deal. They're not that much bigger than all the other boards. However, here's where the advantage is going to come in. Oh, I knew I was going to hit a 5 there. All right, so let me talk about the advantage here. I know that online darts is getting super, super popular. So if you're at home playing on a Target Pro Tour dartboard, and then you go to play a match against someone somewhere, and you fire up the game and you see that they're playing on a Winmore Blade 4, or maybe one of those alien boards, you know, the segment size difference there is going to be huge. You're definitely going to have an advantage playing on the Target Pro Tour dartboard, near 10 millimeter wide segments. The Blade 4 dartboard, I think those were about 8.8 millimeters wide, 8.9. The Alien board, I think, was even smaller, 8.6, 8.7. So just depending on who you play, you will definitely have an advantage using the Target Pro Tour dartboard. So, I mean, that's something to consider, guys. I know there's a lot of you at home that play online darts, whether it's on, what is it, NACA or webcam darts. So if you play a ton of online darts, that's the board you want. Get, you know, might as well get the biggest advantage you can get. But to be honest, I mean, most of the dartboards, the new Blade 5, the Unicorns, the 180 G3, pretty much all similar size, 9.5 millimeter segments, like 9.5 to 9.8. So these segment sizes were only slightly bigger, but hey, we'll take any advantage we can get, right? But yeah, it's a quiet board, no doubt about that. And I haven't had any bounce outs. The spider seems to be decent. No complaints there. I threw at the bullseye for a bit, and no bounce outs or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, for less than $40 US, and again, cheap shipping from Dart Shopper to the United States. Keep in mind, guys, dartboards are super expensive here. We've always been stuck having to buy our dartboards here because shipping a board from the UK, places like Darts Corner, A180, or Double Top Darts, shipping a dartboard cost about $50 US. So thank God for Dart Shopper. They use the FedEx Express shipping. $17 to ship a board overseas. That's unreal. And then to have it show up in 2 days, that's pretty crazy. Oh, my arm's getting tired. Hey, we'll end on that one. We'll end on a treble 20 there. So there you go. Overall, I think for a board in this price range, it's pretty much as good as you're going to get. To be totally honest, it doesn't, I don't think it's going to compare. I don't think it's going to hold up as well as my 180 G3. It also doesn't have, keep in mind, it just has the 3 little plastic plugs on the back end. Nothing fancy there. These are the Unicorn Unilocks, which, if you can see those, I recommend them on any board. Those pretty much replicate the Roto locks on the Winmore boards. So, Unicorn Unilocks, and I think those things are only about $6 or $7. Highly recommend the Unicorn Unilocks. I would use them if I had another set. I would have put them on the Target board. But yeah, I think it's a great board for $40 US. It doesn't compete or compare to the super high-end boards like the Blade 5 dual core or the 180 G3 Plus, but still, I mean, it's half the price anyway. So, I mean, what do you expect? Good board. I definitely recommend it, especially for those guys playing a lot of online darts. Go ahead and take advantage of anything or any little advantage that you can get. Huge segments, that's a plus. So there it is, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review of the Target Pro Tour dartboard. I apologize if this video ran on. I think it's a little bit long, but hey, it's summertime. Nothing else to watch anyway. So if you enjoyed the video, thumbs up are always appreciated. Until next time, guys, we'll catch you on the next video. Later.